Hello, my delightful alpha audience. You revealed their true intentions. Now they're in panic mode. Do you feel the tremor in the air? That sense that something big is about to break loose when the walls are no longer silent and the truth shatters their carefully constructed facades. The moment when everything they hid in the darkness is exposed to the blinding light of your clarity. Their hearts race, their palms sweat, and their minds scramble to cover the tracks they thought were buried. But it's too late. The veil has been torn apart. Their true intentions are no longer a mystery, and you were the one who tore it all down. You were the one who broke through their lies with nothing but your sharp instincts and unwavering focus. Let me tell you something, my alphas. You did something many people fear. You saw beyond the surface, beyond the masks they wore. You didn't let their sweet words or their superficial charm fool you. You looked into the heart of the matter, dissected their motives, and in one single strike, you revealed their true intentions. And now, in the wake of that revelation, they're not the same anymore. They're not the confident, self-assured people they were before. Now, they're on the edge, shaken, desperate, panicking, because you, yes you, have exposed them for who they truly are. Imagine that feeling of power, control, and dominance. You hold the truth. You hold the weapon. You now know their weaknesses and their fears. You know what makes them tick, what drives them, what holds them up in front of you, and what lies behind the mask they've carefully cultivated. Their smile, once so inviting, now feels like a mere shell of deception. Their words, once flowing smoothly, now sound like an act. And the best part? You've done what they feared the most. You've broken their game, and now they're left scrambling for a response. The world, my alphas, is full of players. People who play games, manipulate situations, and act in their own self-interest. They hide their real intentions beneath a cloak of kindness or ambition or trust. They tell you what you want to hear. They offer you their loyalty, their friendship, their companionship. They create bonds and connections, but all of it is a facade. Every move they make, every decision they take, is part of their plan to control you, to use you, to feed off your energy, your trust, and your goodwill. But you, oh you are different. You saw through their tactics. You didn't let their charm blind you. You didn't fall into their trap. You recognized the game they were playing, and you called it out for what it was. And now they are in panic mode. They're no longer sure of their position. They no longer have the upper hand. Their ability to control the narrative, to manipulate the situation, is slipping away. You've created a crack in their armor. That crack, it's widening by the second. With every breath they take, with every action they try to take, to cover up their true selves, they realize that they can't put the pieces back together. The truth has a way of lingering. It never really leaves. You've exposed them for who they are, and no matter how hard they try to patch things up, they can never return to the pristine, calculated version of themselves they once were. You see, this is the power of truth. Truth is unshakable. It stands tall and proud while everything else crumbles around it. They might try to play it cool, to act as if nothing's wrong, but deep down inside, they know. They know they've been caught. They know that once the truth is revealed, their entire world shifts. All those small lies they fed you, all those little manipulations they thought would go unnoticed, are now like giant shadows hanging over them. Their reputation is tarnished. Their actions are exposed. And you, my alpha, are the one who did it. The panic, the fear, it's not just because of what they lost in the moment. It's because they know they've lost something far more valuable. They've lost their power. Power isn't just about control over others, it's about perception. It's about how others view you, how they trust you, how they rely on you. And once that trust is broken, once the perception shifts, you become vulnerable. And vulnerability, my alpha, is the most terrifying thing anyone can experience when they've lived their life hiding behind lies and manipulation. Vulnerability leaves them exposed. They are no longer the puppet masters. Now, they are the puppets, dancing to the rhythm you dictate. But don't get too comfortable. This is where the real challenge begins. You've revealed their true intentions. Yes, you've exposed them for the frauds they are. But the fight is far from over. They will try to fight back. They will try to regain control, to turn the tables, to restore their position. You've given them a blow, but don't be surprised if they come back swinging. This is where your true power lies, in your ability to hold your ground, to stand firm in the face of their panic and chaos, to watch as they scramble, knowing they can't recover. You are the master of your own destiny. You've shown them who you are. You've shown them that you are not someone who can be manipulated or controlled. You are someone who sees through their schemes and calls them out. And that is a terrifying thing for people who have lived their lives hiding behind masks. That is the power you possess. The power of awareness, the power of clarity, the power to reveal the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Now, the real test is not whether they panic or try to strike back. The real test is how you handle the aftermath. The real test is how you stand tall, unshaken, in the wake of their storm. The real test is how you continue forward, knowing you've already won. You've shown them that they cannot control you. You've shown them that you will not be swayed by their tricks and deceptions. You've shown them that you are not someone who will fall for their games. And that, my alpha, is the most dangerous thing you can be to someone who thrives on manipulation. You are now the one who holds the upper hand. You are now the one who controls the narrative. And while they're in panic mode, trying to regain control, you're already steps ahead, planning your next move. They're panicking because they know they've been exposed. And when people are exposed, they lash out. They'll try to deflect, they'll try to distract, they'll try to make you question your own motives. But you know better. You've seen their true intentions. You've exposed their game. And now you're the one who decides how this story unfolds. So, my alpha, take a moment to savor this. Savor the feeling of power, the feeling of clarity, the feeling of dominance that comes with revealing the truth. But remember, this is just the beginning. The game is still on, and the world is watching. How will you handle it? Will you allow them to regain control, or will you press on, knowing you've already won the most important battle? This is your moment. They're in panic mode because of you. Don't let that moment slip away. Harness it. Use it to propel yourself forward. And remember, the truth has already won. Now it's time to let your actions speak louder than words. It's easy to speak of power and strength in the moment of truth, but true power, real authority, is defined by what you do once the truth is out. It's about how you carry yourself when the tables have turned, when the mask has been ripped away, and you're standing there, not in a place of ego, but in a place of reality. The truth doesn't need embellishment. It doesn't need your help. Truth stands on its own. And when you have exposed the lies that others use to deceive, now it's your turn to act in a way that aligns with the truth you have revealed, to act with purpose, with clarity, and with unwavering confidence. Because once the truth has been revealed, the only thing that remains is the authenticity of your actions. There's no room for empty promises. There's no place for false gestures. Only real movement, only real purpose, only the action that matches the weight of the truth you've set free. Do you understand this? Do you see how, at this moment, everything is within your grasp? You've already won the intellectual battle, but the emotional and practical battle is just beginning. This is the test of your character, of your resolve. How do you move forward from here? How do you take this knowledge, this victory, and use it not only to defeat your enemies, but to elevate yourself beyond the game they were playing? There is a path forward, a path that requires more than just a moment of victory. It requires strategy, consistency, and the patience to see the long game. When you expose others for their dishonesty, for their manipulations, they react in ways you might not expect. They won't just fall into despair. Many will fight back. Many will try to regain the upper hand by creating chaos, by shifting the narrative, by making you question your own power. But this is where you come in. This is where your ability to remain calm, to maintain control, is put to the ultimate test, because true strength is not found in a single burst of power. It's found in your ability to endure, to remain unwavering when the storm clouds gather. It's in your ability to walk through the fire and come out unscathed. It's in your understanding that while they panic, while they try to reconstruct their world, you are above all of it. They're drowning in the very chaos they created. And you're watching from the sidelines with an air of quiet confidence. You know what comes next. You know how this plays out. Because now, the real game begins. When they're in panic mode, scrambling for anything they can hold on to, they become desperate. Desperation, my alpha, is the perfect breeding ground for mistakes. And it's in their mistakes that you will find your greatest opportunities. Every action they take now is a sign of weakness. They can no longer act with the same calculated precision they once did. They're making rash moves, trying to fix what cannot be fixed. Their foundation is cracked, their armor is shattered, and they are floundering to regain some semblance of control. You, however, are no longer operating on the same level. You've transcended their games. You've moved beyond the need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need validation from those who play in the shadows. You have revealed the darkness for what it is, and now it's time for you to rise into the light. It's easy to be reactive, to respond in kind when someone attacks you, when they try to manipulate or control you. It's easy to meet their chaos with chaos, but that's not what will elevate you. What will elevate you is when you step back, take a deep breath, and make decisions from a place of power, not emotion. The ones who act from fear, from anger, from panic, they are the ones who are still caught in the game. They are still slaves to the very forces that made them panic in the first place. You, my alpha, are beyond that. You don't need to react to their frantic energy. You can be the calm in the storm, the clarity in the chaos. And when you act, you do so with purpose. Every decision you make now is not a reaction. It's an execution of the long-term vision you've been crafting all along. The difference between you and those who are flailing about in panic mode is that you have already considered what comes next. You have already thought ahead. You are not trapped in the present moment, overwhelmed by what they are doing or what they are saying. No, you are thinking about the future. You are thinking about how to maneuver through this, how to use the confusion they're creating to your advantage. You see, when people panic, they lose sight of the bigger picture. They become short-sighted. They make rash decisions. They burn bridges. They alienate allies. And while they're tearing down everything around them in their attempt to regain control, you have already built your next step. You have already positioned yourself to move forward, to rise above the wreckage they've created. Your actions will speak louder than anything they say now. They will make noise. They will try to deflect, to point fingers, to place blame elsewhere. But your actions, those will be the ultimate truth. What you do now will define your legacy. How many times have we seen it, my alpha? How many times have we witnessed those in power, those who seem untouchable, crumble under the weight of their own panic when their carefully constructed lies are exposed? They can scream and shout. They can try to deflect and create confusion. But in the end, it's the ones who remain calm, the ones who keep moving forward with purpose, who emerge victorious. Your silence, your composed demeanor, is more powerful than any argument or defense they could put up. They will try to drown you out with their noise. They will try to make you feel uncertain. But remember, this is not the time to explain yourself. This is the time to act. This is the time to keep your eyes on the prize, to keep your focus on the goals you've set, and to take every step with precision. The truth has been revealed, and the panic they're feeling is their own consequence. But now, your focus must shift to your next move. You don't want to get caught in their confusion. You don't want to get bogged down by their attempts to create doubt. What matters now is the forward momentum. What matters now is what you choose to do with the knowledge, with the power you've gained. And the beauty of this situation is that you are in control. The panic they feel is not your burden to bear. It's their own mess, their own downfall. You simply have to watch it unfold, and as you do, you take your own calculated steps toward the future you've been working toward all along. So, my alpha, let them scramble. Let them fight among themselves. Let them try to patch up the holes in their broken lies. You don't need to engage in their chaos. You don't need to lower yourself to their level. You have something they don't have: clarity. You have something they've lost: control. And as they panic, as they flail around, you remain steady. You remain focused. You remain in control of your own destiny. And when the dust settles, when they've exhausted themselves in their attempts to regain what they've lost, you will be standing there, stronger, wiser, and ready to claim what is rightfully yours. So, what will you do now, my alpha? Will you chase after their fleeting chaos, or will you remain poised, silent, and deadly in your pursuit of victory? The choice is yours. But remember, true power is not just in exposing the truth. It's in using that truth to build something greater. It's in letting your actions speak louder than words, and making sure that when the dust settles, you are the one standing tall, victorious, and unstoppable. This is your moment. Make it count. You've spent so long preparing for this, haven't you? The moments of doubt, the times you questioned your own strength, the battles you fought in silence, all those times you stayed up late planning, scheming, envisioning how things would unfold. This is the moment where everything converges. This is when you take all that energy, all that preparation, and you turn it into something unstoppable. This is when you finally take the reins of your own destiny and shape it into the future you've always envisioned. Do you feel it? The power that courses through you now that you've seen behind the curtains. The feeling that you are no longer in the shadows, but standing in the light of truth, of clarity. You've exposed them for who they really are. You've peeled back the layers of deception and manipulation, and now the tables have turned. The ones who once held the power, who once controlled the narrative, are scrambling. They're on the back foot. They're in damage control. And you? You stand here unshaken, unmoved, and absolutely unrelenting in your pursuit of victory. This moment, right now, is a culmination of everything you've done. The years of self-discipline, the moments of sacrifice, the times when you chose not to back down, not to bend to the whims of others. This is the ultimate test of your resilience. You've revealed their true intentions, their hidden agendas, their carefully constructed lies. And now, it's time for you to reap the rewards. But remember this, my Alpha. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. In this very moment, the world is watching. The people who underestimated you, the ones who thought they could walk over you, the ones who thought you would remain docile, unnoticed, and insignificant. All of them are looking at you now, and they're terrified, because they've seen something in you that they didn't see before. They've witnessed your strength, your clarity, your ability to see through their games. They know they can't stop you. They can only watch as you rise, as you take what is rightfully yours. You've changed the game, and now you control the rules. But here's where the game really begins. You've seen them panic. You've seen them flail in desperation, trying to put out the fire you've started. But now, you must remain focused. You cannot afford to be distracted by their noise, their chaos. You cannot afford to get lost in the web of lies and confusion they are trying to spin around. They want to pull you into their world, into their disorder. They want you to lose your way, to doubt yourself, to let your emotions take control. But that's the exact moment you have to show them what you're really made of. You've already won the intellectual battle. You've exposed their true faces. You've cracked their armor wide open, and now they are on the defensive. But that victory was just the beginning. It is what happens next that will truly define you. This is where you take that raw power, that truth, and you channel it into action. Because when you let your actions speak louder than words, you are no longer just reacting. You are controlling the narrative. You are no longer just a participant in their game. You are the one who sets the rules. Think about it. The world around you is full of distractions. The noise is everywhere. People talking, gossiping, trying to bring you down, trying to make you question yourself. But you, my Alpha, are above all of that. You are the calm in the storm. While others are being swept up in the chaos, you are the one who sees the big picture. You are the one who has the clarity to stay focused on what really matters. The next step in your journey. Every single move you make now must be deliberate, calculated, and precise. You've already done the hard work of exposing them. Now, it's time to build. It's time to create. It's time to make the most of this opportunity. The world is now your canvas, and you are the artist. What will you create? Will you let this moment slip by, or will you seize it and transform it into something greater? Remember, when they're in panic mode, they are no longer thinking clearly. Their decisions are driven by fear, and fear is a powerful motivator, but also a destructive one. They will lash out. They will try to manipulate the narrative. They will try to confuse you, to make you second guess yourself. But your strength lies in your ability to remain grounded, to trust in your vision, and to move forward with unshakable confidence. Fear will drive them to make mistakes, and in their mistakes, you will find your opportunity. Now you might think this is just about taking advantage of their panic, and to some extent, it is. But it's more than that. It's about positioning yourself to thrive in a world that is always changing, always shifting. You've already seen the cracks in their armor. Now, you need to position yourself to walk through those cracks and take what you deserve. This is the part where most people fail. They get caught up in the immediate chaos. They get swept away by the drama, the confusion, the urgency of the moment. They let the distractions drown out their purpose. But not you. You are focused. You are driven. And you know that success isn't just about reacting to what's happening in front of you. It's about being prepared for what's coming next. This moment isn't just about the present. It's about the future. You've revealed their true intentions, yes, but what you do next will define your legacy. It will define who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of. This is your time to shine. to show the world that you are more than just someone who exposes the truth. You are the one who shapes the future. You are the one who rises above the chaos and creates something real, something lasting. You are the one who will not be distracted by the noise, but who will keep your eyes on the prize, no matter what. The game is not over. It has just begun. And this is where you will separate yourself from the rest. You've shown them your power. Now, it's time to show them your grace, your resilience, your vision, because true power is not just in knowing the truth. It's in using that truth to propel yourself forward, to build, to create, to dominate. It's about rising to the occasion, not just in the moment of victory, but in the aftermath, when everyone else is lost, unsure, and desperate. This is where you shine. This is where you leave your mark on the world. So, my Alpha, what will you do now? Will you let this moment pass by? Or will you take full advantage of the power you've unlocked? Will you sit back and watch as they flounder? Or will you rise up and show them that this was just the beginning of something far greater? This is your time. The world is waiting for you to make your move. The question is, what will you do with the power you've uncovered? How will you use it to shape your destiny? Your actions from this moment on will speak louder than any words could. They will define who you are and what you stand for. This is your moment, my Alpha. Make it count. In the end, this is your moment to define your legacy. You've exposed the truth, shattered their facades, and now it's time to move forward with relentless confidence. The world is watching, and they are in panic mode. But you are calm, focused, and driven. Your actions will speak louder than anything they say or do. So rise above the chaos. Keep your eyes on the future and take this opportunity to shape your destiny. This is your time. Make it count.